Hey love, so I wanted to share a quick channeled message with you guys. I was up till early hours of the rising this morning and I had to write this all down because it was coming in tenfold. So I'm just going to read to you guys what I have wrote down as a channeled message. If it resonates, take it as that. If it doesn't, then that's okay too. So ever since starting my womb healing journey, you realize that women tend to store a lot of emotions in the womb space. Now you have to remember that the womb space is creation and it's also the creator. So that is usually where our emotions get stored. That is usually where everything goes. And that is why stretching out your hips and making sure that you are connected to your womb space is some of the things that I have installed into my journey, because we don't give enough appreciation or respect to our wombs. You know, seeing as that is the source of life, we need to give more respect and more nurture and more understanding and more love to our wombs. So remember that energy can always be transmuted. When trauma occurs, usually emotions become stagnant and or blocked. Since our energy is a source, kind of like an electric plug that we can kind of charge into at any time, the energy flow can become restricted sometimes. So remember that emotions are energy in motion. So what happens when our emotions are no longer in motion? We store them. We hold on to them. Trauma is a form of energy storing. You know, trauma is trapped emotions, the emotions that we haven't been able to process, or the emotions that we have not wanted to process. And so they go into our subconscious, and our subconscious absorbs it into our body, thus creating energy restrictions, energy blockages, that kind of thing. So, you know, when something has happened repeatedly, or when trauma has happened repeatedly, our body stores it away, you know, and it doesn't even need to be repeatedly. It could be just one time. The energy gets stored, the emotions get stored, everything gets stored within our own energy, in the body anyway. That's why, you know, Reiki and things like that, acupuncture, it helps the energy flow. It helps, you know, reduce any blockages, and it helps to allow things to flow the way that they need to. So for women, our wombs are life force. Our womb is where life ends and begins. Womb equals creation, and creation can sometimes equal emotion and can equal life. You know, creation is life. I have learned that through orgasm, we can choose to form a healing relationship and a healthy relationship with our womb spaces. So if you guys have followed me on Twitter, I tweeted a message that you can release your trauma and your stored emotions through orgasm, which is something that I have done, which is something that I am learning to do, and something that I am taking presence on within my life. That doesn't mean that it's going to work for everyone. Take that into consideration. It's just something that has resonated with me and something that has helped me in my journey in particular. So, you know, something that a lot of us women do not have, or was taken from us, or we haven't really learned, is the connection that we have to our wombs, the connection that we have to our life force. You know, it's been kind of shunned upon almost to even look at our, you know, yonis, our vaginas as portals. And, you know, it's then recognizing and embracing that our portal is a life force in itself. Our womb can hold, create, grow, and manifest life from the spiritual realm, into the physical realm. That's something incredible within itself, and it's something that a lot of us women need to kind of learn to do. learn to embrace, learn to love more, okay? So we have become so accustomed to storing stagnant emotions subconsciously in our womb space that we have forgotten and misunderstood our power, our divine power. Since a lot of us are disconnected from our womb space, many of us may have repeating patterns of inability to create. So that can be creation in terms of fertility. That can be creations in terms of projects, in terms of passions, in terms of, ideas and imagination, that kind of thing. Now, this doesn't always mean that it's completely to do with fertility. I just want to say that there are many different other factors. I am not a doctor, I am not a health professional, so if you're looking at this video in terms of that, don't just take that as, the main source. It could be many different factors too. So inability to flow, inability to connect with the mother, whether that be our mother or the mother within us. That doesn't mean that, you have to be a mother. It doesn't mean that at all, but it just means nurturing yourself. That's what the mother means, being able to nurture yourself. Inability to nurture ourselves, love ourselves, appreciate and respect ourselves, and build relationships with other women, building sisterhood, building communities, or even assert our power by owning our voices, our hearts, and our own divinity. So by connecting to our womb spaces through orgasm, we are creating the chance to get to know ourselves, to get to know our wombs and how we feel. Releasing through the womb space via orgasm can be reached just by holding the intention and placing focus on our energy there. So placing the energy of, us and our feeling towards our orgasm or towards the yoni. We use the portal as a divine pathway to release subconscious programmings. Now that doesn't always mean that you have to reach orgasm. That doesn't always mean that you have to climax or, anything like that. It just means that you're placing the intention of focus towards the womb space and towards life flow. So the portal opens and closes when reaching climax. So we can choose to place the intention of releasing what no longer serves us and inviting in all of the yummy, delicious, love-invoking feelings of our divine selves back into our womb space, reclaiming power, love, and above all else, our own divine essence. So like I said, you don't need to orgasm, you don't need to climax. Our yoni does this when we are masturbating, when we are, feeling ourselves, anything like that. You can do this with Kegels even, it opens and releases certain things within our energy flow. Reaching orgasm is not the primal point of this. Everyone's bodies works differently, and the practice is really about getting to know our womb spaces more intentionally and more intimately, and becoming one again with it. We seem to see ourselves as, the womb and then us, and it's really just everything is all in flow with self. Everything is all in flow with our own divinity. So it's recognizing that too. Wow, it's like raining crazy. Anyways, so the force of bringing in and remembering our own divine love is key within this. It's about intention and taking back our power, our essence, and our sacred connection to creation. Once we start to consciously form a relationship with our womb, we can change the dynamic of sisterhood, of creation, of ourselves, of self-love, and how energy can be transmuted instead of being stored. So, like I said, many different factors come into, the experience of storing emotions, of storing trauma, anything like that. But, this is one way to connect fully to your divine essence, the womb space. being able to transmute emotions instead of storing them in this particular space. And these may even be things that kind of stop you from creating, or stop you from finding or creating your purpose, you know. So just bear that in mind. This is something that has helped me in particular, and it's something that I'm going to continue to learn and hopefully continue to teach women. I love women. We are incredible, we are divine, we are sensational, you know. The amount of things that we are within ourselves is just amazing. And I think that by getting to know ourselves on this intentional, intimate level is where we can truly heal ourselves, heal our children, heal each other, and heal the world, because everything comes from us. So just bear that in mind. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please comment below. Please, you know, subscribe, like this video, show love. Let me know your thoughts and how things work for you. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.